I paid over $800 to ride this bike park, and it's probably the best riding decision I've made this year. This is the Kamloops Bike Ranch, home to the biggest public jumps I've ridden. It's also completely free to ride. So why did I pay over $800? I'll tell you why in a second. In this video, I'm gonna show you through my favorite lines in the park so you can see why this place is so incredible. But in addition to that, the second half of the video is gonna be me giving you a guided breakdown of how to actually hit each line. So you don't need to guess on speeds when you go for yourself. Instead, you'll know where to brake and where to go faster than you think, etc.
Oh, I cased it too, dang it. We both cased it.
The drop?
Yeah. You didn't notice that you cased it?
No. I felt like it was close, but went okay.
Yeah, so why did I spend almost $1,000 to ride here? Because I love this place so much that I flew internationally from Salt Lake City to British Columbia, Canada, plus rented a U-Haul for weekend transportation. If you like jumping mountain bikes and haven't been to Kamloops, this video might change your travel plans. Okay, we are gonna kick it off immediately with the biggest line in the park called Fistful of Dollars. The first time I saw this line, I was in awe, and I've ridden some reasonably big jumps. I mean, I'm a Utah boy, so I get down to ride the retired Red Bull Rampage features and lines on a regular basis. I've hit the Moon Booter, I actually 360'd the Moon Booter. I ride I Street Bike Park in Salt Lake City that has some pretty fat stacks of dirt. I built Eagle Mountain Bike Park, which had some of the fattest and most dialed mountain bike dirt jumps in the state. But I have never in my travels seen as many big jumps in a row as you're gonna find on Fistful of Dollars. So without further ado, let's hop in.
We are pedaling. Oh, I'm right behind you. Yep, good. Okay, coming off this probably 10-foot drop. Oh, nice right hand turn here, and then a steep step up. Okay, one drop. This fast, sketchy berm. And then you just haul into this 30-foot hip. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll skipper. The infamous hut jump. Okay, get ready for that one-hander. Yo! Oh. Yes. Okay, T-Bob. Yo! One foot X there. Mile points. Okay. I got this drop into the steepest big boy here. Ooh! Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah! So good. Dude. Woo. Amazing every run.
So good.
So I think it's a little bit difficult for people to grasp the scale of the jumps on Fistful of Dollars. So I grabbed a couple of clips of a normal 6-foot tall person, that's me up there, watering the jumps so that you can get an idea of how tall I look next to these takeoffs that are all 2 to 3 feet taller than me. So this takeoff is probably 8 feet, 2 feet overhead. And this has to be the biggest landing that I've ever ridden. Most beautiful, at least. Look at this thing. There's my bike and the takeoff over there. This is the freaking landing. It's like 22 feet wide and it goes down into this massive downhill. Unreal. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Do you think that the jumps reflect as big as they are through the POV footage of us riding them, or do they look bigger to you when you see these third-person shots of us kind of wandering around next to them and watering them? In my opinion, these behind-the-scenes shots of watering the jumps and riding around next to them kind of help you see the scope a little bit better.
Burrito con carne.
Burrito con carne. Okay, call out your tricks and I'm gonna try and follow them up.
Dead sailor.
Dead sailor, all right. Yeah. Oh, what the heck? Oh, why are you casing everything? I'm gonna freaking catch you in the air. skipper. Whoa, I'm going deep. Oh, little nose tap. Dub. Yeah, take it wide. Nice. Oh. Okay, I'm tossing a little D-bog here. Oh. There go the one-hander to ET. X. Oh, nose heavy. Ooh, she girthy. Oh, case to finish off the ultimate run.
Okay, so Fistful of Dollars is technically rated a double black or maybe a pro line. And something that I love about my travels through Canada is that they are not misrepresenting the terrain out there. So when you show up to a single black diamond, it's something that you've got to take seriously compared to, you know, you show up to a double black diamond in Utah. It's what I would consider to be a blue square by Canada terminology. The line that we're gonna check out next is a single black diamond line called Wrangler. Now, the first time I rode through this line, I tried to do it blind. I had never actually looked at the features before, and this was after I had already ridden Fistful of Dollars, so you'd think, oh yeah, you're good and warmed up, you can hit it no problem. But first time through was actually pretty scary. There's a lot of really fun twists and turns and things that you're not quite expecting. You have to know how to read the trail pretty well. So I would say give yourself at least 3 runs to make it through. But let's hop in and check it out.
Yo. Oh. Oh. Yo. Oh.
Now, I think one of the coolest parts of Wrangler is that at the very bottom, as you're cruising through these last few jumps, you come up out of the ravine and you can actually tee directly into the big drops that Kamloops Bike Ranch just put in this year. So over here, they've got 5 different drops. One is 2 feet tall, one's about 4 feet tall, one is 6 feet tall, and that's at like the beginner and intermediate side. And then up above, there are 2 bigger ones. I would say one is about a 9-foot tall drop, but then they have a 15-foot tall drop in a public bike park.
Take a look at this. This shovel is 6 feet tall. It goes right up to the top of my head. And this is this shovel compared to this drop. So freaking sick.
Honestly, one of the coolest features that I've gotten to ride at a city bike park. Okay, now we are going to check out an alternate line on the Fistful of Dollars main jump line.
Let's get some handful of dollars. The alternate Fistful of Dollars. This run's actually way sick. We found it for the first time last night. Well, we didn't find it. We finally rode it, more like it. Come in, we'll step up, step down. Very berm. And then all into this. Oh, I'm going so fast. Gotta slow down a little bit. The hut jump. All right, little manual here. Double. Dropping some speed. That lip's got a little pop. Roll all your speed around the turn. Yeah. Little brake. Yep. Oh, got it just right. Strong pumps. Yeah, dude. Okay, we got this. Yeah. Heck yes, dude.
That went really good.
Okay, the last line I'm going to show you today is the big dirt jump line. It's crazy that there is an entire other zone down here that we haven't even talked about, including the jumps that you can see in the background way back there. These are more dirt jumpy style jumps in beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert flavors. And it's also home to what I consider the gnarliest dirt jump in the Kamloops Bike Ranch, which we're going to talk about next. So in the years past, I have actually ridden these first two big dirt jumps. You can see number one right here and number two, but the little skipper hip and then the last jump had always scared me because the last jump just looks like a monster.
Look at the size of this takeoff. So I'm 6 feet tall, camera's at 6 feet tall. I'm literally like up to like right here. This has to be a 9-foot lip.
And this thing is steep. Like, I think it has the most aggressively shaped transition in the whole park. To say I was nervous would be an understatement. I mean, I'd been here 2 years before and still never done it. So I wasn't about to let year 3 pass without getting some.
Oh my gosh. I collapsed. I should not have gone that fast. Okay, dude. First T to B train through the DJs. Okay. We're getting it. Whoa. Dude, I juiced it and went outside. That felt so good. Did you? The height is wild.
The height was unfortunately not wild enough for me on that run, so I decided to take another crack at it, this time with zero braking in between the skipper and the last big hit. And it did not go well. Well, I mean, I'll let you make that decision.
Oh my gosh.
That was the most dead of dead sailor. Unreal. Dude, look how high you were too.
I came in no break and I was like, I have to yank.
Stinky fish dead sailor up there.
Fish stink. Oh, my arms hurt, dude, because I landed like this and went.
Dude, impressive boost though. Are you okay?
Dude, yeah, I'm good.
Like, you rode away, so I was like allowed to be pumped.
Okay, now as promised, here is your cheat sheet for riding this bike park, at least the lines that I've shown today. Want to make sure that you can show up to this place and get through safely. Okay, so step number 1 is actually watering the jumps. There are pails in all of these 50-gallon drums all over the hillside. You want to keep a strip of damp dirt down the middle of every takeoff and landing. This is going to keep your traction better, you safer, and it's going to keep the jumps lasting for longer. The trail crew here does a great job, but you should help out. Okay, here is your speed beta for the Fistful of Dollars line. We start up on the nub off to the right side of the trail right before this long berm and just throw a couple maintenance pedals to keep the speed here. When you land, there's a bit of an impact and you'll want to brake very lightly, but you want quite a bit of speed for this step up. The landing's pretty flat and long, and I found it's easy to case, so you might as well go a little faster. All right, if you land good on that step up, you're going to want to brake just a tiny bit before this step down. I found it's easy to go deep on it. The landing and the berm that follow are also historically some of the bumpiest stuff in the bike park. You're going to get really rattled going around this turn. So as soon as I land on that step down, I am on the brakes. It's like a medium brake going into that berm. So there's no way around it. The speed that you'll have into this next jump will scare you. I would rather go long on it than go short because the landing is so square. Just make sure that when you land, you are ready to point to the right. Okay, I recommend doing some light braking before this next hut jump. Here, I use this camel hump feature to help me judge speed for the next set. I want to be able to gap out of the camel hump easily without too much of a bunny hop. Then you're going to do no brakes into this next jump, and I like to hang to the right because the landing is so wide and long. For this next jump, no brakes either, but right here I do a light brake tap before this jump. When you land on this step down, it will feel like you are hauling, but trust yourself and do not brake. In my experience, I could hit the next jump with a little brake or with no brake. You should be good. Okay, you should be able to coast and have the right speed for this step up hip, and then I give it a light brake tap before the step down. This next jump is one of the poppiest jumps on Fistful of Dollars, so just be ready to fly. Light brake tap before the very last jump, and I kind of hang left, and from there, you are done with the Fistful of Dollars line.
Okay, handful of dollars.
Okay, you guys should remember that the handful of dollars line is essentially the same thing as fistful of dollars. The only difference is right here at the camel hump, you are going to want to stay right. The speed into this jump over here is about the same, but it has a poppier lip. Notice how as soon as I land, I'm carving over to the right because I want to catch the wide edge of the berm. You're going to need to carry all of your speed into this next step down hit. Also, don't cut too far inside to the right. You will hit these branches. Here, I'm going to give it a light to medium brake tap before this jump. It's got a lot of juice to it, and you can go deep if you go too fast. As soon as you land, be ready to aggressively pump the rollers in here so that you'll have enough speed to clear the next jump. If you don't have the speed, you're likely going to case and have to pull off the line. Rewinding back to the jump before the rollers, this time you can see that we got a significantly better pump through this section and had enough speed to clear that. And then you just tee right back into fistful of dollars with the same speed formulas as I talked about in the last part.
We got this.
Land on the step up, light brake before the step down, and then send it off this super poppy jump, and then a light brake before the last one as well. The next line I'm going to talk you through is the Wrangler jump line. As long as you're not hauling, no brakes are needed for this jump. You're going to kind of cruise into here, and I do a light brake before I roll around this berm. The little step down out of this berm is pretty easy, but the next jump has a kind of blind landing with an immediate right-hand turn. And this gapped out shark fin to shark fin is probably the most technical feature on the Wrangler line. You're going to be very tempted to brake before it, but it's kind of hard to clear, so you've got to trust your speed and just get after it. Also, make absolutely sure that you start leaning left in the air so that you can catch the edge. Okay, these next couple jumps have pretty intuitive speed. You're not going to have to worry a lot about these. They have big, easy landings. Going to drop down through here and hit this step up. You kind of need a little extra speed for it. And then this one, same thing, nice and easy. Okay, now we got this pretty nice two-stage hill with a little drop in before the next jump. You're gonna need more speed for this than you think visually. And if you clear it, all of a sudden you're hauling through these trees and it feels like you should brake. Do not, because you'll case this one. Okay, on these last few jumps that finish up the Wrangler line, you're gonna kind of be able to just feel them out by how deep you're going on each one. They're all pretty similarly spaced, so just gauge your speed off of how deep you go on the first one. We like to take this little bonus line on the right, a very steep kind of hip spine. Pretty fun, you don't have to brake into it at all. Okay, now the speed for this big drop down here. We do a couple of cranks fast enough that you can comfortably jump up, and then there's no brakes and no pedals on top. You just kind of coast off the back. You can see me actually go pretty deep on this one, and that's because I took that little quarter crank up on top of the platform. I did not need that because I was already coming in a little bit hot. A much easier speed formula to follow for this drop is to start up on top of the little fire road hill. I coast down and just do a couple of little maintenance pedals and then nothing on top, and you should be perfect. I usually brake lightly before this very last jump, and now you are down. Okay, the last line that I'm gonna run you through my speeds for is the big dirt jump line. You can pretty much pull right up to the edge of this drop-in and start from a standstill and roll down this hill. Since we started with a little bit of speed, I pull a medium brake right here. The best way to tell how your speed is that you can hit this little skip or shark fin and not go too deep or too short. You don't have to pop it a ton. If you land good on that, the first jump is actually pretty intuitive. If you case the first jump, just coast off the second one, you'll probably clear it. If you're lining up the first jump and you have really good speed and land right in the sweet spot, I would brake a little bit before the second one because it's easy to go deep sometimes. Okay, you won't need any brakes before this step down, but I highly recommend a light to medium brake before the last jump. Like you saw in the video, this one can send you into orbit, and you've got to be prepared for a pretty aggressive curvature on that takeoff. Is it sketchy? No way. The jump feels amazing. It's perfectly shaped, but it is steeper.
Dude, I juiced it and went outside. That felt so good.
Obviously, there are a ton of other lines and features around this bike park that I didn't have time to get into today. But if you have any questions about the bike park or need any help, drop a comment below. I'll be happy to respond and help however I can. And again, I don't really do much of this long-form YouTube content. I think this is the first full-length video that I've ever actually done. But if you'd like to see more of this type content to peek into my sessions on a little bit bigger scale, let me know. Drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel. Would be happy to get into it more with you guys if it's something that is helpful to you.